Hello and welcome to the Deep Dive. You know, in a world that often feels, well, chaotic and uncertain, sometimes the clearest answers come from really unexpected places like thousands of years ago.
Right.
Today, we're not just reacting to all the noise. We're trying to take the helm a bit, guided by an incredibly practical philosophy. Epictetus's Stoicism. Okay, let's unpack this. Our mission here is to dig into the core wisdom from this ancient way of thinking and see how it offers, genuinely actionable tools for managing stress and uncertainty in our lives today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what's so compelling about Epictetus himself is his story, right? A former slave who becomes this profound philosopher.
Incredible story.
Yeah, teaching that while external events are, often way beyond our control, our reactions to them, those are entirely within our grasp.
And what's fascinating here, what truly resonates about Epictetus is that this isn't just some dusty historical text.
No.
It's a really profound, actionable framework for cultivating emotional strength and remarkable clarity.
Actionable is the key word, I think.
Exactly. Think of it as a powerful lens, maybe, through which to navigate life's inevitable hurdles, always favoring, reasoned responses over just raw, impulsive emotion.
Right.
By the end of this deep dive, our hope is that you won't just know about Stoicism. You'll have specific insights, maybe some techniques that can genuinely empower you to lead a more well-grounded and resilient life.
So let's start there then. Many of us have heard the word Stoicism, maybe as like a buzzword for just being tough emotionally.
Yeah, you hear that a lot.
But what is it fundamentally, beyond that sort of common perception?
Well, at its roots, Stoicism is an ancient Greek philosophy. It was founded by Zeno of Citium way back in the early 3rd century BCE.
Okay.
And it really flourished later in Rome. At its heart, it's a school of thought that emphasizes virtue, wisdom, and self-control as like the absolute essentials for a good life, a well-lived life.
Virtue, wisdom, self-control. Okay.
Yeah. And when we talk about the key Stoic figures, Seneca often comes up, Marcus Aurelius.
The emperor, right?
The emperor, exactly. But Epictetus really holds a unique place. His background, as you mentioned, being a former slave, that deeply shaped his emphasis on inner freedom and the incredible power of our own thoughts. His core teaching, what sometimes gets called the dichotomy of control, it's pretty revolutionary.
Dichotomy of control.
Yeah, it's this constant practice of distinguishing what is truly within your sphere of influence, like your judgments, your desires, your actions, from what is absolutely not.
Like what? What's not in our control?
Well, external events, obviously. Other people's opinions, definitely not in your control. Even things like your body's health, to a large extent.
Okay, that distinction, that dichotomy of control, it sounds like, that could be the ultimate stress buster right there. Just focusing your energy where it actually matters.
It really is empowering. It helps build rationality, emotional resilience.
But what about those times when life throws something truly devastating at us? Something utterly beyond our control? I'm thinking about suffering. It's universal. Everyone goes through it, yet it often feels incredibly isolating, doesn't it? How does Epictetus tell us to face that?
That's a profound question. And for the Stoics, suffering isn't just, an unavoidable part of life we have to endure.
Right.
It's actually seen as the crucible where our virtues are forged. Like, without the friction of hardship, things like courage or patience or self-control, they'd just be abstract ideas.
So you need the challenges to actually practice them.
Precisely. It's through confronting discomfort, even real pain, that we truly practice being virtuous. That's how we develop resilience. The insight here is that challenges aren't just teachers. They're essential opportunities for growth.
Opportunities. That's a different way of looking at it.
It is. And the Stoic encouragement is to try and embrace suffering, or at least accept it, rather than constantly resisting it. Because it's our reactions, our judgments about these painful experiences that ultimately shape our character, not the experiences themselves.
So it's not the pain, but how we think about the pain.
Exactly. And there's a deep, profound peace that can emerge when you accept suffering as a natural, maybe even necessary part of the human journey. This acceptance allows for a really crucial shift.
A shift from what to what?
From a futile struggle against what is, fighting reality, to a courageous confrontation of it. And that, they believed, leads to a much more meaningful existence.
Okay. That brings me to something else many of us probably feel weighed down by, past failures, difficult relationships maybe, or those unfulfilled expectations that just seem to hang around.
Yeah, that feeling of being stuck.
Exactly, that feeling of being perpetually stuck. How does Stoicism address that kind of emotional baggage?
Well, that feeling of being stuck is precisely what the Stoic concept of detachment aims to alleviate, detaching from things that cause pain.
Detachment. Okay.
See, clinging to negative experiences, whether it's like holding on to grudges or obsessing over past mistakes or constantly replaying things you wish had happened differently, that traps you. It traps individuals in these cycles of suffering. It clouds your judgment, hinders progress, makes it really hard to embrace the present moment and respond wisely.
So detachment isn't about not caring.
No, absolutely not. That's a common misconception. Stoic detachment isn't about becoming emotionless or uncaring. It's about disentangling your sense of well-being from things that are ultimately outside your control.
Okay. Like other people's opinions, external events.
Exactly. Past mistakes you can't change. It's about finding freedom from depending on those external things for your peace of mind, not freedom from feeling altogether.
I see. So how do you practice that? It sounds hard.
It takes practice, for sure, but by consciously working to release these burdens, you create space for new, healthier experiences. And the practical advice from the sources is actually quite straightforward. Start small.
Start small how?
Identify just one attachment, maybe a resentment or a regret that no longer serves you, and then take one tangible step, however small, to release its hold. Maybe it's forgiveness, maybe it's acceptance. This process, practiced over time, it not only alleviates that current suffering, but it really empowers you to live a more fulfilling, truly liberated future.
This theory is definitely compelling, but the real test is always the application, right?
Always.
How do we take these powerful Stoic ideas and actually weave them into our daily routines, especially when life gets messy, which it inevitably does? Here's where it gets really interesting.
Right. And there are several practical Stoic exercises that can be truly transformative when you incorporate them into your routine. First, let's talk about journaling.
Okay, lots of people journal. How is the Stoic way different?
Well, instead of just recording events, like I did this today, a Stoic journaling practice might focus more on analyzing your reactions. You'd ask yourself things like, okay, what was within my control in that situation, what wasn't? Or how could I have responded more virtuously, more rationally? It becomes a tool for rigorous self-assessment.
So reviewing your day through that lens of control and virtue.
Exactly, aligning your actions with your core values. Second, there's mindfulness. Now, this is a broad term.
Very popular now.
Very. But the Stoics engaged in something a bit deeper, sometimes called prosoche. It's like a constant, vigilant attention to our thoughts and judgments.
Vigilant attention.
Yeah, particularly how we react to external events. It's not just about being aware of the present moment, but about actively questioning our impulses and aligning them with reason.
So more active than just observing your breath.
It can involve that, but it's more about examining the judgments that arise. Simple techniques, though, like taking a few deep breaths before a difficult conversation, that absolutely fits. It helps you stay grounded, respond calmly.
Okay. Journaling, mindfulness.
You mentioned a third one earlier that sounded intriguing. Negative visualization.
Yes. Negative visualization, or the classical term, is premeditatio malorum.
Premeditatio malorum. Sounds intense.
It does. It literally means the premeditation of evils or misfortunes. And I get it. That's a very common reaction. Many people initially find it sounds, well, morbid or pessimistic. Yeah, like you're just dwelling on the bad stuff.
But it's not really about dwelling. It's more like a mental rehearsal. It's actually a profound way to appreciate what you do have by contemplating its potential absence.
Like imagining losing something you value.
Exactly. Or imagining potential challenges, a difficult project, a relationship strain, maybe even larger losses. By mentally preparing for adversity, you become less fragile when difficulties inevitably arise.
Okay, so it builds resilience.
Tremendous resilience. And it profoundly fosters appreciation for what you already have right now. It leads to a much more balanced perspective on life, I think.
So it's counterintuitive, but powerful.
Very. I genuinely encourage you, the listener, to maybe consider incorporating any of these journaling, prosoche, negative visualization into your daily routine. Even small steps.
Yeah, these exercises do sound powerful in theory, but let's bring them to life a bit more. Let's say you've been incorporating journaling and mindfulness, and then bam, you get slammed with some really tough criticism at work.
Okay, yeah, relatable scenario.
My first instinct, honestly, is usually defensiveness. How would Epictetus guide that initial gut reaction?
That instinct to defend is totally natural, but a Stoic mindset encourages a pause, a moment before reacting.
Okay, the pause.
Yeah. Instead of immediate defensiveness, you'd try to view that feedback almost like data. An opportunity for growth, potentially.
Data. Interesting. Not a personal attack.
Right. You'd ask yourself, okay, is the substance of this criticism within my control to change or improve? Maybe is this just someone else's judgment, which is outside my control? Or is there actually a kernel of truth here I can learn from?
So dissecting it rationally.
Exactly. You focus on what you can learn and improve, if anything, and that transforms what could feel like a negative personal blow into, well, maybe a stepping stone.
Okay, I can see that. Let's try another one. Highly relatable. You've worked tirelessly towards a personal goal, poured your heart and soul into it, and then you face a significant setback. Or maybe you just don't achieve it at all. Major disappointment. What's the Stoic response there?
The Stoic response starts with acceptance. First, accept the situation as it is, without resentment or railing against reality. That's the crucial first step.
Acceptance, even when it hurts.
Especially when it hurts. Then you reflect, okay, given this outcome, what can I control right now?
Back to the dichotomy of control.
Always. What's in my control? My reaction, certainly. My effort moving forward. My persistence, maybe. My willingness to learn from the setback.
So it's about reassessing.
Reassessing your approach, adapting, and then moving forward with renewed clarity, rather than just being paralyzed by the disappointment.
Right.
This process isn't about pretending you're not disappointed. You acknowledge the feeling, but it's about building true resilience and agility in the face of life's inevitable ups and downs.
That makes sense. It's worth thinking about, for you listening, your own experiences and how maybe these principles could have helped navigate similar situations with perhaps a bit less turmoil.
Absolutely. That reflection is key.
And that reflection, that practice. It's important to underscore that this journey of practicing Stoicism, it isn't necessarily a solitary one, is it? It's easy to think of philosophy as something you do alone in a study.
That's a really crucial point you've hit on. Community plays a truly vital role in Stoicism, historically and practically.
How so?
Well, sharing Stoic principles with others, discussing challenges through that lens, it fosters deep connections. It creates a supportive environment for growth and just mutual understanding.
Like a support group for living rationally.
Kind of. Engaging with people who share similar values or are striving for them, it can significantly reinforce your own commitment to living this way. It makes it less abstract.
So you'd encourage people to seek out others.
Definitely. I'd strongly encourage seeking out like-minded individuals or groups, maybe through local meetups if they exist. Online forums are huge now, social media groups.
Right, lots of online communities.
Exactly. Connecting with others doesn't just provide valuable perspectives and insights, which definitely enriches your own practice, but discussing challenges and solutions together. It's not just about, lightening your emotional load, though that helps.
What else does it do?
It often uncovers new strategies for overcoming obstacles that you wouldn't have thought of alone. And it fosters this profound sense of belonging and accountability, which is really powerful for sticking with any practice.
Belonging and accountability. Yeah, that makes a difference. So what does this all mean then for you, our listener? As we bring this deep dive to a close, let's maybe just recap the core takeaways from Epictetus's timeless wisdom.
Good idea.
It seems to boil down to truly understanding and applying that dichotomy of control, focusing relentlessly on what we can influence, our thoughts and actions. It's about accepting suffering, not as some terrible curse, but as a natural, maybe even essential part of life. Like you said, a forge for our virtues.
Right, the crucible.
Yeah. It's about cultivating emotional resilience through those practical exercises.
Yeah.
Journaling, the mindfulness or prososh, that negative visualization.
The daily practice.
And crucially, it's about recognizing the vital power of community in that journey, knowing you don't have to walk it alone. Applying these principles helps navigate challenges with hopefully greater ease and reduces a lot of unnecessary suffering.
Precisely. You've summed it up really well. The power isn't in somehow avoiding life's storms, because you can't. It's in learning to navigate them without losing your own inner compass. Moving towards what the Stoics called ataraxia, a state of profound tranquility and calmness.
Ataraxia.
Yeah. The wisdom of Epictetus, it really offers a kind of roadmap for more deliberate, peaceful existence, guiding you toward apatheia, which doesn't mean apathy like we use it today, but freedom from being controlled by disturbing passions or emotions.
Freedom from disruptive passions.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you reflect on everything we've discussed today, maybe consider this final thought. How can you begin to incorporate just one or two of these Stoic principles into your daily routine, starting maybe even tomorrow, to step into a more fulfilling and truly liberated life, regardless of what external circumstances might arise?